up, you get a move on. I keep hard, I know. You let it go slow, but we could go faster.
This is season 2, Zillaa Uncut Pod, where we get down to the nitty gritty. It's gonna be something different. I wanted to bring my aunt because sometimes we get the yapping and we'll go for some time, right, Auntie? So I'll let you introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Auntie Pinky. I don't know what else to say. But we do have these kind of different generational views on things. So
I think it'll be nice for you to come down, sit on my lovely little couch to show all the lovely people what we'll be having to talk about. This is Zillaa Uncut Pod. Make sure you do not forget to subscribe. So Auntie, it's like a bridge between our age, group. And so how is your, love life?
Oh my.
What is your
I don't think I want
status?
to answer that question. Go to the next one. My grandma told me that's my business.
Okay, personal. Too much information is not needed. Never know what's going on out here.
I
Okay.
feel like I'm at the doctor's office. Anyway.
So if we're talking, obviously different generations, what am I? Am I Gen Z?
What year were you born?
95. Is that Gen Z?
No.
Gen X?
I think
A millennial?
Are you?
I don't know. I think I forgot.
We need to look that up.
I think I forgot. I think I'm a millennial. 95.
I think you're a millennial.
I am. I think so. Now
Yeah,
that I'm thinking about it.
millennial because I think
Shout out to us.
I think your cousin is the start. And you like a couple years old.
Yeah, he's definitely the start.
And you're the end, and he the beginning.
They're definitely crazy.
Yes, I thought your generation was crazy until they showed up.
It was like
I said, they were still giving out those participation trophies.
and now they come along. And have you ever ran into any YNs on the street? Do you know what YNs are? So that generation from us is called the YNs.
Oh, so the millennials call them the YNs.
It depends. If you see a young ratchet not giving an F kind of guy, that's a short name. Everyone knows now on social media that they're called YNs. YN stands for young nigga. Usually reckless.
I had figured that.
So I'm giving you some of the abbreviations that's going on. And those are typically the ones that are train surfing and just acting all crazy. And so have you ever gotten to any involvement with any YNs?
I definitely believe I have managed to avoid it.
Okay, good. They're off the chain. As time, went past, that you would like to give any of the audience or even just me.
Life lessons.
Yeah.
Just so many life lessons.
When it comes to the top of your brain.
Don't put stuff off. Recently you sent me a picture where you were in Japan. And I've always wanted to go to Japan.
Really?
I just traveled. And this is something that I think particularly people are baby boomer generation, you work and you put things off until you're like, and next thing you know, you're at the until and your body is all you're like, how far we gotta walk? Oh no, we need a car. 3 blocks? Oh hell no. So where you going? Because so I say don't put things off that you want to do.
That sucks because I'm more of a procrastinator.
Find a way to do what you want to do. And also shit that you need to do. Don't put that off either.
Because then before you know it, you're like, dang, why
time really does fly.
I feel like this year actually flew by fast, really fast.
I dated a genius, a genuine, genius. They test them and take some records up to DC. And I remember him telling me the theory of relativity.
Wait, let's take this back in my picture. You said that a little too fast, Auntie.
No, this was years ago. I don't mind talking about from 40 years ago.
Yeah.
But you was asking me about here and now, and I'm like, that's my business. But anyway, he was telling me about the theory of relativity. I was like, damn.
So he was a genius, you said?
He was a genuine genius. And I was like, oh, man.
That's something that I used that. He was a genuine genius.
So he was a genuine genius. Like, none of this bullshit, Trump, or whatever. No, this tested genius. And he told me about the theory of relativity when I was like, why do hours seem to go by so quick? When I was a little kid playing, he's like, the theory of relativity. He's like, because the relative years you had against the hour made it longer. He says, now you have 10 years more, so of course that hour's shorter. And then when you get in your 50s and 60s, that hour's like, I can't plan to do nothing. I ain't gonna be able to finish nothing. I only got an hour. No, I can't do it in an hour. You know? And when you were young and teenage, you're like, oh, we can do 3-4 things in an hour. So I would say just like using your time.
I feel like sometimes I look back at, even when I went to like Dubai for my birthday, and I didn't realize it was years ago. It's like, dang, I was just there. It felt like I was just there, but then it's like, dang, Dubai was actually some years ago. What do you feel is the biggest difference between dating in your 20s now and dating back then in your 20s? Do you feel like it's, a difference, of course?
So here's my answer.
Okay.
They date now? Because I thought they just swiped.
Dating is weird now. Okay, so I have another question. Do you feel like the women today expect too much?
Expect too much of the men?
Yeah, because I feel like
I think they
it's always
I
feel like we're always going back and forth. Just with people my age group. A lot of women didn't have to work, and that was because they shut the hell up, and the men went to go get the money. And
are y'all black women out there?
And they paid the bills.
Because black women pretty much did have to work. So just put that out there. But anyway.
Yeah, no, and so they say that it wasn't really a 50-50 thing back there. They did the household, made sure things was good, and then the
so is it allegedly a 50-50 thing now?
Allegedly, a lot of the guys are trying to push the 50-50 narrative on women.
First of all, there's probably no such thing as 50-50 anyway. Like in anything at any time, but particularly in a relationship between a couple. I think sometimes one is given 30, one is given 70, other times one is given 60, one is given 40. We're hoping they don't go below 30.
It just depends on your dynamic in the relationship.
So I just think that that's kind of a false narrative. However, and I'm the mother of a son, so let me admit that bias, right? But it's funny because I am of that generation, of the women's lib generation, let's say. So, some of my sisters will be shaking in their boots here and this question. Say, what's this now, young lady? No, we don't want to be completely dependent upon a man. We used to have to be that. And that put us in very vulnerable situations, all the way to the extreme of, battered women not being able to leave because they didn't feel like they could support themselves and their children. So
do you think the women expect more?
I actually think they expect less because I don't think that my generation would have accepted some guy talking about swipe to the left, swipe to the right, and pull me. I'd be like, what? I don't think so.
Like, I need to actually get to know you. Are we going to actually meet?
You got to do a little more than that.
Or the gift of gab, you have those that just come around saying, oh yeah, I'm going to do this.
My mama used to say, make them wine and dine you for a minute.
Yeah, you got to show me some, okay?
Come on now. So I don't think.
And I think they want to do less, and so they kind of have this imaginary mind frame, like, well, back in the day, Aunt Patty wasn't asking for this and that and the third, and I'm thinking like, well, did they expect did they ask for less or did they expect more? Like, how did
I think
because she was fine with the bills paid and house in the
fridge. I think that they did it.
Now we might want Louis Vuitton.
It's like, Now that's different. You know what I'm saying? I don't think, like, honestly, especially like your average person, black, white, Latino, whatever. You know, your average citizen didn't even know who these people were. You know what I'm saying? We didn't know these kids know all of the designers or the this or the that. That was some rich people shit. And you know, no pleasure being rich if everybody else can get what you got, right? Then what's the point? So we're like, okay, y'all go ahead and enjoy it.
You go ahead and do what y'all doing. I got the latest.
Yes. So that is like a different thing.
Did y'all care about that kind of stuff like that? We have a joke going on right now with like us, our age group who having kids. We're like, dang, like we see the new kids graduating high school and they got Lamborghinis, they got this and the third. And it's like, dang, before I know it, when my kid graduates, she gonna want a jet. Do you feel like things has changed as far as like?
Well, I just think that it's like, I think of that as like almost like a sickness because it's truly, because it's like, it's one thing for people, that's what you can afford. But the problem is people who cannot afford it.
Can't afford it and they want to do it just to look cute.
Trying to get that. And so things that they may need their money for, they won't have because you paying some, you know, $1,000 car note on some car that you should even have.
So how do you feel about the people that's driving Mercedes-Benz or BMWs that are 2001 versions?
Well,
they're trying to keep up with
they're good cars.
So do you feel like?
I feel like they are well-made cars. That's why they have the reputation they got. So I feel.
But would you get it just for the name, as far as BMW? Would it be
just so I can say I have a BMW?
Yeah, 2001.
No, because you know, it costs a lot more money fixing foreign cars. You know that, right? Because you have to find them parts and somebody who do it, so that's gonna cost you more. But they are good cars. So if you're going to have an older model and it's affordable for you, because that's the kind of car you want, you feel it's a sturdy car, whatever, that's fine. But I feel like getting it when you really cannot afford it and you
it's
really
crazy.
have to
Yeah, I feel like I love to have the car. I love having my access to a car, but I don't have a BMW.
You know, I had a couple of Fords, and I'm just saying.
Wait, what did you say?
I had a couple of Fords.
Ford Focus, like I had a Ford Focus. My first car was a Ford Focus.
Yeah, well, you know.
And I beat it down to the ground. When Uber first came out, if you knew you had to be around, Uber would take you. You could have the Uber for all day, and it's so many stops. Now it's nothing like that. You pay for one ride and you get the hell up out of there. We used to have the driver for the whole day, just making so many different stops.
And it was cheaper than
and the same price.
And it was obvious that they were just trying to run all the other car services out of business.
Yeah, that makes sense.
My ex-husband's cousin owned a car service back then, United Express in Brooklyn. And he actually held on longer than most of the other guys. What I mostly liked is you could have a driver who's like your driver, right? So you could say, you know, is Charles free? Or when would Charles be free? Or tell Charles Shelley want her to, you know, pick up at such and such a time. And that.
Well, I guess now they still do have like drivers, like black truck drivers, but everything is so much more like if you want a driver for the whole day now, it definitely.
But can you request? Because I don't see the ability to request on Uber.
No.
Yeah, you can't request your, you know,
your ride is your ride. Yeah, like
right.
I don't think you can keep them. You have to.
Yeah, they don't.
To go.
Yeah, they don't.
Because they need to make, I guess, the rest.
So I do prefer, you know, the way. Plus, the kind of work I do, which is to focus on workers and giving workers benefits. I also don't like that it's just the owners of that company and the investors who get most of the money and profits, and the workers get the least, you know? So it's just not a model.
Yeah,
I think it's very exploitive. Yeah. I think the model is very exploitive.
Do you feel like there's anything different that you would have done as far as like when you were younger, maybe like becoming an astronaut or something that's just out of the world?
Get depressed. We keep talking about when I was young.
I'm saying, are we talking about in between the gap? Because I feel maybe if I probably would have actually been in school doing what I had, or maybe like even just so many different things. I feel like I could have took a different route in.
I had once said I wanted to be a pediatric nurse when I was like in like middle school, but it wasn't really true. I don't even know why I said it. I just thought it sounded good. You know, I had always wanted to be like a trial lawyer because I watched Perry Mason, and I did get to be a trial lawyer, and I practiced that for some years. And the only other two things that I wanted to do, and maybe might still do, I always wanted to write.
Okay.
But more like novels.
Okay.
And
like
maybe
fictional novels?
Yeah, fiction.
Okay.
But maybe even non-fiction, but I always really wanted to write fiction. And started some things too, just never, because it's hard, right? So get them some depth.
Yeah, I always wanted to like write a story of my life, but not actually write it. I want to like tell somebody and then they write it for me.
Well, they got ghostwriting.
Yeah.
But I have no intention of writing a story of my life.
Oh, it's gonna be
names being changed to protect the innocent and the guilty is not enough for me. Again,
it has to be under a different name.
That's my business. I write y'all some fiction.
Yeah, maybe when I'm like really, really like maybe on my way out the door, then maybe I'll just give you guys a.
I don't know. If I'm dead,
who's gonna give the money for it? Like, it was this white lady. She had a black friend, and she voted for a different political party than her friend did. Can you be friends with somebody who votes for a different political party? Would you agree or
I can, except now. I actually am pretty good friends with someone. And that's her party. But
do you feel like it affects your friendship in any kind of way?
I do feel like it kind of does. Like in the past, okay. First of all, I have voted for different political parties, so I don't feel like you have to be married to one of these parties. When I look at what this current Republican Party is with Trump and Steve Miller and people who are advocating white nationalism, whether they want to call it straight up white nationalism or white Christian nationalism, and that is an international movement. I am not okay with folks acting like that shit is an aside.
Now in this day and time, we'll be like voting against your well-being. Like
yes,
yeah,
yes, I absolutely do. I feel like it's your party. You have more of an obligation than anybody.
I feel like even we've seen so many things on the news as far as them, changing votes, like the numbers, or just like doing fraudulent stuff, or we feel like does it even matter?
Okay, that's wrong. Let me just cut that alternate fact bad news shit off. That's what they did to win. They made you believe your vote didn't matter. They made you believe they could just change the number. They made you believe all kinds of shit to make you stay home. Because if you stay home, that's one more vote for them.
So you feel like we just didn't vote and that's why they got away with it?
Yeah, if it didn't matter, if they could change all that shit, why would they spend the money they spent? Just think logically. I have a good friend who is originally from another country, and she told me years ago, she said, Shelley, the problem with Americans is that they just don't think critically. And I was insulted. I was insulted. But over these last few years, I said, oh, my girl.
Maybe that's true.
Another little genius was correct. All you have to do is sit down and just think about the thing critically.
Critical thinking going on over here.
Around the world, they
want it in our face and we want it now.
The Gen Z kids and what's it? Not Kathmandu, like these so-called third world countries are standing up and demanding action. They are like putting their whole bodies on the line in terms of their political activism. And America's youth just sitting around talking about,
we bullshit.
Let's send some things on the chat line.
Feel like it should be more protests going on?
I think it should be more everything going. By any means necessary. And I'm just going to say that. They can come talk to me at the house if they want to.
Wasn't standing on big business.
I'm trying to tell you. So it's just like, wake up. I see these kids from these other places in the world, and I think, you know, maybe it'll light a fire, you know, from the kids here, because you need the energy in you.
For wrapping this up, thank you for coming. This was
Thank
nice.
you for having me.
Cheers.
I look forward
We're
to
ending
what
this.
we'll do in the future.
Maybe you should